Hello everyone and welcome to the Intel Forum about the next generation digital signage. Today's panel I'd like to first of all introduce as well as myself. My name is Daniel. I'm the Director of Digital Marketing ROI. We are a leader in digital intelligence and consulting and help clients on digital branding and online sales opportunities. Today, we are pioneering Web 3.0 technologies to automate and digitize the sales and marketing processes. Today also I have with me Eric Wong. Eric is a senior executive with extensive experience in the global IT industry. He has a 15-year plus successful track record at Intel. He leads the marketing charter for Intel APAC and previously worked in several positions in EMEA, Asia Pacific and North America. I also have Raymond Ning. Raymond is a digital signage marketing development manager, and he is driving the adoption of Intel digital signage platforms. When he started his career at Intel, he was in software and there in technical marketing. Currently, he's representing Intel in the digital signage special interest group for open pluggable specifications. Raymond holds a degree in MCE. Last but not least, I've got Cherise Wong. Cherise is responsible for APAC sales activities of Intel architecture, products in embedded applications. She is responsible for account and business management services to customers and supporting all of Intel's online sales group. She facilitates communications between Intel engineers and external sales partners to deliver business ROI. Cherise holds a degree in electrical engineering. Welcome to you all panelists.
Hi everybody. Yes, nice to meet you.
Hey, hello. This is Raymond. Welcome to this panel. It's very excited to have you all here to join this panel. Thanks.
Hey, hi. This is Cherise Wong. Welcome to the forum, and nice meeting you down here.
Okay, for all of you can see the slide in front of you. I just want to remind everybody that there is a URL that we have in the chat box, just some housekeeping, where if you haven't dialed into the bridge, you can do so. On the URL are phone numbers for every country that you can access the number from, toll-free of course. Just type in the participant code, because the visuals that you can see obviously is enhanced if you have the voice. So obviously for those who have dialed in already, that's great. So today we're going to be looking at the agenda, whereby the forum provides a platform for us to discuss the ideation and imagineering about the future of technology when it comes to intelligent machines. The idea is to generate thought leadership on how intelligent signage can drive ROIs for retailers. While digital signage itself is not new, the technology powering digital signs is now comparable to the most advanced desktops computing capabilities. This means the intelligent sign can perform complex tasks that enhances the customer experience in a retail environment, which is what we're going to talk about today. This process can literally virtualize some of the retailers in-store and in-shopping mall customer service as well as sales and marketing capabilities in ways never imagined before. As we go through the various event chapters ahead of us, please feel free to post your question by chat or in the Join Me chat box. In the slide that you see in front of you, we're going to be looking at creating this customer experience continuum. Let me just, if you will, pre-frame what we'll talk about, and then shortly we'll have the experts join us and maybe explain to us some more the benefits of intelligent digital signage. So first of all, there are many options when it comes to interacting with marketing offers. We all know who they are. The online forum, the online channel, the targeted promotions, mobile promotions, digital signage of course, as well as social kiosk and digital racks. The digital customer conversation continuum is really about initiating and maintaining a conversation with that target audience. And these folks are leads and prospects and customers who are exposed to various campaigns online, on site, as well as off site. Our goal is to assist retailers in continuing that digital communication, which we call the digital communication continuum. So really, it's a possibility now for us to bridge campaigns that are going on TVCs, on newspapers, on the web, with in-shopping mall experience. So to the panelists here, to my way of thinking, Raymond, Charisse, and Eric, this is really about connecting the dots, isn't it? So perhaps you guys can talk to us a little bit more. What are retail chains or what are hardware developers who are building digital signs today telling you guys about some of their thoughts when it comes to digital signage? Perhaps, Charisse, you can lead the way. Please tell us more.
Yes, sure. Yeah, I agree with Daniel that this kind of connecting the dots, and from feedback of some of the retailers, they recognize that this Intel compute continuums are actually benefited them in terms of helping them in creating new and exciting user experience to their customers across different devices. And besides that, they realize that this is also an opportunity to allow them in creating a new revenue streams as well as helping them to reduce the cost of delivering solutions to their customers.
That's excellent. So it's a really a boost to their revenue stream. As you stated yourself previously, you're about helping businesses, particularly retailers, to increase their conversions. And here we're specifically talking about on-the-spot conversions, isn't it?
Yes.
Great. You guys are going to get a much better idea of what we mean by that. So, and you can see here that the next generation of digital signage really encapsulates the intelligence of advanced technology that then communicate with the audience in many ways as they are going about. So maybe Charisse, you may want to help us out, understand a little bit more as to how the Intel data collection infrastructure, if you will, is gathering data and of course then collecting that data and making sense of that data such that the retailers can then benefit from consumers who are interested in the product. Go ahead, Charisse.
Yeah, okay. So with the advanced technology that we have nowadays, it's actually allow us, the retailer especially, to connect the end-to-end solution starting from the customer engagement to service management and back to the back-end system, which all the data management or the data will be managed to the back-end system, which is the cloud computing, which is the trend now. And see how this benefits the retailer is like now this new trend of cloud computing management is like kind of benefiting the retailer in terms of saving their costs as they don't really need to pay for a physical server to put into their premises and pay for the maintenance. Instead of they just need to pay the subscription to the cloud and just pay on whatever amount that they spend on
Right.
instead of
Okay.
spend on the yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So what you're saying is that in partnership with those hardware developers and system integrators, that Intel has a complete technology stack, if you like, if I can use a technical term, a technology stack that has an end-to-end solution where data is not only captured, but from that point collected, harnessed, and really being taken advantage of in a dynamic situation, right? Ray,
You're right.
okay, thank you. So in the upcoming slide, maybe we can look at some practical examples where intelligent signage is being utilized. And some of the questions that you guys were sharing with me previously is that, a lot of your clients are saying, well, first of all, I know Intel makes great, microchips, they go in laptops, but why are you guys talking to me? And I'm in a digital, maybe signage business or something like that. So perhaps panelists might like to comment on this. Again, Charisse, I believe you have your own thoughts here about the Macy's beauty spot. So go ahead and talk to us about that.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite previous concepts. So this is a totally new cosmetic concept that allows the customers to search and select the products from various types of product categories across the multiple brands. So this proof of concept is actually powered by the second generation of Intel processor, and it involves the multitask screen in this system as well as the cloud management. And the reason that we're using the second gen of Intel Core here is because like all this type of heavy listing of application require heavy processing power,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why we choose a second gen of Intel Core for this proof of concept.
Excellent, excellent. So all of these potential applications of intelligent signage really only begin to scratch the surface, right, Raymond? So maybe you can talk to us.
I think
Yeah,
maybe I would like to add on
yeah,
this one because I think as an Intel, we are I think as it today, previously we are very known as just silicon and selling CPU and chipset, but not today. And today actually we are actually moving on to the next, where actually we are looking into the solution space. So
okay,
actually, why talk to Intel? Actually, today we actually go into a deeper detail. So we
mm-hmm.
actually have a what we call in Intel we have a what we call a retail sector that actually overlook on the retail sector what we call the business. So what we are doing over here is that we continue to listen to our retail. What is their pain point, especially what are they actually what their ultimate goal is actually how they can serve better their customer and also to more engage with their customer. So this is where actually we can think that with the Intel technology, we actually can help this retailer on
Yeah,
this kind of what we call the wish list that we are
right, right.
looking for. So,
Okay,
so this is a POC. Actually, we are going for this to make this thing that actually it can be to show to people that this can be achieved with this kind of proof
right.
of concept.
For example, the Adidas, the Adiverse example, that looks really interesting. So I imagine that the solution being provided here within the store is that I imagine sometimes there's a lot of people in the shops and the shop assistants are quite busy, right? So instead of always waiting for your turn, you can actually go and interact with a product such as a pair of shoes, and really not about trying it on or anything like that, because this is a virtual imaging system, but it's really looking at different colors, maybe something like that. I imagine that'd be cool. But there's so much to cover, so I'd like to maybe leading on us to the next item, which is where the challenges and potentially what are Intel solutions that are addressing those challenges that are coming up. So here, if I can just recap this, the industry challenge opportunities. You've got security being one of the key points. It's about really customer engagement is a second one. And obviously getting business analytics on the fly that's actually actionable can be utilized to make better business decisions or better marketing decisions. And finally, total cost of ownership. So perhaps, uh, Raymond, you can talk to us just briefly a bit about security, and I'll get Charisse to jump in and talk to us about the facial recognition part of it. Go ahead, Raymond.
Yeah. Okay. I think just now he have some information and Intel have a big vision, but actually the Intel, the retail architecture, we are not just playing on the front end side, which is just the kiosk, the digital signage. We are covering more than that. We are going to the back end. We actually back end where actually Intel platform can play a very important part. So it's to get every device connected together and then and stream their data to a cloud and to the data center. So by doing this, I think there is a potential of high risk that actually this kind of what we call the network can be break by the hacker. That actually they can for example they can hack into the digital signage and display the content which is not supposed to be.
Right, right.
Actually, there is a lot of transactions. The money actually going to the kiosk and also the ATM, and this is going to be a high risk if it is not secure. So Intel actually look into this space where actually we know that there is a high risk and we need to solve the problem on
Right.
this if you want to go into this architecture. So we actually acquired the McAfee. Today actually we are going into deeper into solutions
Right.
to provide a totally secure solution for the
Okay.
the architecture you
Right,
just
right.
mentioned.
Very good. And before I remember, in terms of the Macy experience there, Charisse, you were talking about facial recognition. So obviously the applications are both from a gender recognition perspective, so that the appropriate solutions, the appropriate product is being offered. But in particular case of Macy, why don't you tell us a little bit more about how Intel plugged in a solution when it came to that, Charisse?
All right, yeah, maybe I briefly go through this Intel AIM suite as I'll be covering this
Oh,
later
right.
as part of Bob slide. Yeah, so
Excellent.
Intel AIM suite is AIM is actually stand for the audience impression matrix, and the technology behind this is actually the anonymous video analytic, as we call it AVA.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of like facial recognition type of technology which allows the advertiser
Mm-hmm.
to study the metrics and also the demographics of the
Right.
users of the signage systems.
Mm-hmm. No, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Right. No, great. And I believe, sorry to interrupt you, that you're actually going to be digging a little bit more deeper into this subject later on, right?
Yeah,
So
you're right.
why don't we actually jump in here and look at the signage real life situations in a retail environment, which is the next slide, number 12. So Raymond, perhaps you can talk to us about that. Just to explain to us what are the ROI opportunities that emerge from signage in just a plain old supermarket, somewhere we go every day. Go ahead, Raymond.
Okay, I think this is to give you a case study where we have been working with our end user. I think that as you can see today that a lot of signage actually being played around with the retail, but there is a lot of hurdles that actually facing by this kind of retail where their space is so small. Actually, they have a lot of goods in their store, and it's very hard to put a sign there. And then furthermore, actually, they need to change the locations most of the time because they have to rearrange their the display of their goods. So if you put a sign there, it's very hard for them to to change the location if it is a wire. So what they are looking for is that they want to find an easy way to actually they allow them to deploy the digital signage screen in a more what we call friendly manner, more easy. And also the retail store, they are not operate 24/7 most of the time. So they want to at least can remotely turn it off to save the power.
Right,
So
right.
today, actually, they are using our Wi-Fi technology
Right.
to connect this digital signage. And there is another technology that we have in our Intel, which is called the Intel Active Management Technology.
Right.
And this technology allows the end user to remotely manage the system, the
Okay.
digital signage
Right.
remotely. So this is actually helping the end users to solve the problem of these kind of hurdles.
Yeah.
Actually, they are saving
Right.
the power as
Excellent.
well. And
No, that's a good point. So you mentioned here remote management. Obviously, this is very good from a operating expenditure perspective, like lowering the OPEX factor, as you guys call it, which is very useful. So the next slide, let's look at that in a little bit more detail. How is OPEX being affected when the Intel solution is being plugged into the system? And obviously, there are some real cost benefits, not just from an OPEX perspective, but I can imagine also from the initial capital expenditure as well. So, Raymond, you might as well continue. You are an expert
Okay.
on OPS. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. So actually, today, I believe that before you attend this forum, there is a video that you can see to look into the what actually the OPS all about. But today, actually, with this forum, actually, I would like to go through it quickly, especially on the digital signage. What are the challenges that actually faced by the today's what we call the deployment? And also, what are the things that actually the OPS actually can help the end user, the system integrator to better deploy the system with the saving all the operating expenditure. On the right hand side, you see that this is normal what the signage is being used. So today, a lot of challenges being faced because they need to put the cable, and also we need to find a space where actually to mount the media player to find a space for the digital signage. And with that, actually, there is a lot of different type of solution. It's very fragmented. So this is something that actually is a challenge to the industry today. That actually they don't have really a good solution to overcome these kind of challenges. So what
Okay.
is the impact is that with that actually you have what we call the installation is the cost is higher because you have to like change all the solutions So what we are doing today is that the OPS is helping is that we actually drive a standard out to the industry. So this is what we call the open pluggable specifications that is allow us our ecosystem to build so that actually they can insert the media player at the back of the screen instead of you have to separate the whole thing.
I see.
So
Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, to me as a business person, as a marketing person, this is very exciting because you can have a standalone system. What to me looks like a giant iPhone, really, in many ways, or giant smartphone, or a giant touchscreen, where I can interact with that device. It's easy to install. It's just a screen. There's a hole in the back. A box just plugs in, and you can remote control that device. That device can play videos. It has a camera, can see whether the person looking at the screen is trying to find its way down to Starbucks or is looking for something.
I think this
Right.
This is everything actually you can add it on with our the high performance solutions that we have on the Core i5 or Core i7. So these are the I think with this OPS actually is easier for you to upgrade if you want to have all these high performance solutions that you are going to get.
Excellent. Good. So in the next slide, we've got some more solution and some OPEX. Go ahead, Raymond. Continue on.
So I think I will just make a summary of that. Of course, you actually can go into our website to look into the OPS solutions through our our open. If you go to search on the OPS Intel in the Google, you definitely you can find the link there. So
Okay.
what I'm going to give you a very quick update is that with this OPS, actually you can you can save all the the impact of the operations cost. So on the right hand side, as you can see that these are the solutions that provided so that you actually can improve your maintenance, improve your serviceability, improve the the reliability, and also you can upgrade. So these are the benefits that actually we actually bring to the industry by using the OPS solution.
Yeah. And just a quick note to all the participants, and we'll be emailing everybody with a link so you can access this deck with the audio recording. So by all means take notes, and I encourage you all to actually ask questions as we are going through this, because the idea is really not to go into the technical specifications of how that all works, but to more look at the business ROI from a retail perspective. So again, if you're in the business of either building those kind of intelligent signs, or you are working with folks who are in the business of running marketing or something like that, please feel free to ask questions. So here we're going to look at the OPS deployment in a restaurant. So carry on, Raymond. Tell us how did that work for that client?
Okay, so this is one of the aggregator that actually in Taiwan. Actually, they have a lot of style putting into the into the especially in the retail and also in the restaurant. As you know that in this kind of environment, the space is very limited, and you sometimes you really need to change the positioning of this what we call the sign. So what they are looking for actually because the the 300 sign, if you want to manage the kind of volume, is not easy, and if you don't have what we call a standard method to to maintain that, it will be a disaster if you have a different kind of method of implementations. So they are looking for this kind of easy way standard method of deployment, which is actually they can save the space and save all the all the hurdle of doing the cabling, and also the remote manageability, which is something that we have mentioned just now using the INT. Most importantly, today actually a lot of upgrade that you need to do, because today for most of the time you may need the what we call a temporary what we call a low end media player, but in the long run you may need to upgrade into high end. So but with the what we call, this is something that they will want to add on in the futures for better, like just now Sherry is mentioning the video analytics, but this is needed a very high performance kind of Core i7, Core i5.
All right.
So they would like to have a way that actually can easily upgrade their system if they want to.
Okay,
so
great.
What they are looking for is the OPS that just now I mentioned. So OPS allow you to do to slot the the media player at the back of the the display, and they actually allow you to upgrade. So this is the way that actually they can solve all the their need in the future. So
right.
where actually they are using the OPS solutions.
Right. So now we're going to go a little bit more deeply into actual reference cases, and I believe, in APAC, and I believe that Charisse here will be talking to us about 4 different segments, and the segments being ECG, retail, medical, military, gaming. That sounds really interesting. Charisse, tell us about that.
Yeah, so for this forum, I'll be talking about the various signage for retail. So we have picked 2 cases for this forum to share with you guys. And let me introduce to you. We have this customer from APAC, and he's a digital signage system integrator, and he's a pioneer in the industrial grade of digital signage. So at that time, at that point of time, they actually came to Intel to seek collaborations on one of the projects. One of the digital signage project which they are working with the airport. So they're actually looking collaboration with Intel to win this business. But at the same time, they're encountering some of the challenges which they might need help to overcome this. And one of them is the existing system which they are using is having performance and graphics issues.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they play the 1080p and Full HD display on the dual signage system, they are seeing jigging and lagging of the display.
Right.
And the second biggest concern that worries them is the price conscious that they raise up by the end customers. So now they have 2 major concerns that they need to think about, and there's things that they need to meet the performance
Mm-hmm.
of the project requirements as well as the price point that required by the customers.
Right.
And that is how it has been triggered to explore these Intel low-cost solutions.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, they have very limited knowledge on that.
Right. So let's look at some actual examples of how signage is being used. We all see them everywhere, particularly at airports. But I really believe that the future has only just begun for applications of signage, and particularly signage in a retail environment, in a way that the signage can itself interact with customers in an intelligent way. Know whether it's a man or woman might be interested in product X versus product Z, or somebody is just looking for directions. The future is really untapped because these devices are really intelligent. They're just like some of the latest gadgets out there. They can either take voice commands, visual commands. Who knows what the potential really is?
Interest in exploring Intel technologies in resolving their 2 pain points of scaling up the business and selling up the solutions. And here we introduce the IAMT, the Intel Advanced Management for the remote management. So with this technology, they no longer need to send people on site to repair and diagnose their system. They can remotely resolve this in their admin through the admin console on their own office.
Right.
So
Right.
Save on the
Okay.
the operating cost. And the second one is the AIM suite, the audience impression matrix, which I mentioned initially. And this helps the video signage advertiser to study the characteristics of the visitors to that kiosk, and they actually have better benefits instead of tailoring the contents to target to the right person at the right timing. And so as a result, this helps the customer in reducing the total cost of ownership with our IAMT, and because they do not need to spend on the maintenance costs, and
Right.
at the same time, it helps them to increase the ROI because they can scale up the business without increasing the existing number of headcount.
Right. Scalability is very key,
Yeah.
right, in this environment.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and most important is Intel helped them to transform from a traditional digital signage to intelligent signage, which is one of the trend now
Right.
in the digital world.
Okay, great. And this is really the key, isn't it? It's about that transition from good old static signage or even like a poster. And what we're talking about is a fully interactive system that can pick up video analytics. I'd like for you guys to actually talk to us a little bit more about what kind of video analytics are being picked up, and obviously, what kind of reports, I guess, at the very top level could potentially be generated, like how many people interacted with the product X versus product Z, that type of stuff. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, they actually you get to know like your audience. You can tell the gender of the audience
Right.
and also their age. Like and based on that, you can actually study their behavior.
Right.
And based on this sort of characteristic, you can actually tailor your content to attract more attention from this audience.
Mhm.
So it's actually helping the advertiser to measure their ROI and
Mhm.
also to increase their ROI, the return of objectives.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. So moving to the next subject matter, we are going to now go through the different next steps that are possible beyond, above and beyond, digital signage. So in the next slide that is shortly come up on your screen, we're going to look at the evolution. We mentioned briefly that it was about a move from static signage to intelligent, interactive signage. So maybe either Raymond, perhaps might like to jump in and just talk to us about the various solutions and the various cores, the chipsets themselves that are appropriate for each of the functions that retailers would love to get into their shopping centers and into the various stores. Go ahead, Raymond.
Okay, I think I would like to give you the head start is that signage actually by right is happened is long time ago. You can see that earlier quite a long time people are using the DVD to display some of the content, but it has to evolve because people is not looking just the signage now. They are going to be more network connected piece of signage. So this is where actually the evolution coming in, where actually we can get everybody, all the devices connected together and disseminate the content to the each client with the right people to the right time at the right location. So this is where actually the evolution happening on the digital side. And moving forward, I think that where what we call the styling is going to move head on is that they will continue to add in the intelligence. Intelligent meaning what actually is not what we call just a one direction kind of information flow, but it actually is a both side. In a way that actually you will increase the what we call the interactivity through the touch. Actually, one of the capabilities the touch. And the other, just how Cherise has mentioned that there is another type of intelligence actually is through the camera, like what we call the aim sheet that we are driving into the market. That allow the display signing is just not a dark terminal, just display the information, but actually can capture the audience who are actually looking at the sign, and then it will smartly to display the content to the audience at the right time at the right place, and that is where actually relevant to the audience. So continue to be, all these digital signage will be continue to add in all this intelligence, and moreover, all these what we call the remote manageability. So today on the left hand side, you can see that Intel is actually have all these solutions that provided to have to cater for this kind of different kind of need. So we have the Atom, which is basically for the basic digital signage. And we do have a very called i5 and i7 actually can do all this intelligent signage. So this is where actually Intel has played an important part in this digital signage business.
Okay, great. So I think next slide might be also a lot easier for all of us to visualize what you're talking about here. So what looks interesting to me here is you can look at the whole ecosystem of signage, the video analytics, the lowering of the TCO, the hardware-assisted smart security and cost-saving manageability using the remote control capabilities that intelligent signage today offers. So maybe Charisse, you can talk to us a little bit more about IAMT. And again, please remind the whole audience what that stands for and talk to us then about vPro.
Yeah, so as I mentioned previously, IAMP is the advanced management technology and it is used for remote management. And this is actually the hardware base of remote management, which can support the out of band features compared to the software management, which means that the admin console can actually remotely management the system, even the system is being shut down or is not running on OS. So software management would not be able to do that.
Right, right.
So what we have to enable the IMT is we have to have the vPro based board, which is the Intel Core i5 or i7 processor with the compatible chipset and also the Intel LAN chip.
Okay,
So
cool.
with the same system as mentioned by Raymond, we can use it to deploy the AIM suite as well.
Right, excellent. So in the next slide, you're going to dig a little bit more into the what I find really interesting, which is the video analytics part. But one of the things I think you guys were talking about before as well is that there's a minimum, requirement for each of the kind of capabilities you want your signage to have. So in this case, a core duo 2 gigahertz or faster is really kind of the minimum, depending, of course, on what is the outcome that you guys are seeking, meaning retailers and so on and so forth. So in the next slide, we can look at the critical breakthrough, which is the video analytics, being able to look at the audience, to know whether it's a male, female, young, old, and things like that, so that they can see things that are relevant to them. And of course, we all talk about how digital is a revolution in how folks communicate using the web. I think this is actually one step beyond in many ways, although you have to be there in person, in that the signage can use its camera to actually understand where you are coming from, what you may or may not be interested in, and from there interface and interact with you. So the AIM suite really is about enabling exactly that. Am I right? Is that where the RI comes from? Raymond?
Exactly.
Yes, you're right.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And the in-store capabilities, to me, it's actually is that the same? Is it different than having a mobile phone? I think it complements it. To be honest, from a marketing perspective, because unless I've got an app running on my phone, I may not be aware of any specials going on. But in a crowded shopping center on a Saturday where there's like literally thousands of people walking past intelligent signs, anybody can interact with a retail offering that makes sense to that person. And to me, that's fascinating. I can't wait to see more of this being made available, on shopping centers around the country and around the region, where retailers finally understand that they can reach out to a customer, maybe walking through the lobby of the shopping center, and they might be on the third or even the fourth floor, but they can push offerings. They can market, what it is they are selling to that person based on what that person may be interested in. And of course, there are other scenarios that come to mind here. Scenarios such as, a person seeing a campaign, interacting with that campaign online, and thinking it's great. Starbucks has some coupons, has some very special offers, and they get a QR code or something like that pushed to their mobile phone as they interact with the campaign online or as they interact with the campaign on the TVC, and then rock up at the shopping center and greeted potentially even by a virtual assistant saying, "Welcome to the shopping center. How can we help you?" They flash their mobile phone, a QR code gets scanned, and you go, "You know what? You need to go to that store." It could be a Starbucks, it could be anything. You walk up the third floor, just follow the sign, and so on and so forth. To me, from a business perspective, this is what excites me, and I'm sure retailers and and for you guys out there, system integrators and hardware developers, please talk to your end consumers and really empower them to understand the real effectiveness and the real ROI benefits that intelligent new generation intelligent signage is going to bring to the equation. So maybe I can see there's a few questions coming up on our chat screen, and also Eric, I think you yourself had a few comments at this point.
Yeah, I'm so excited today about the future of digital signage and also retail. If I want to know more, I heard some jargon like AIM and also IMT. If I want to know more, where can I get more information?
Yeah, that's a great point. So on your next screen, maybe we just talk a little bit more about the orienteering in and around the Intel resource. So we will obviously paste various links on our on our website that you logged in to get access to this webinar. But I guess what I want to show you guys is that on the Intel website itself, if you go to the embedded section, there are various areas that you will understand how signage is currently being used, practical case studies, videos, if you will. Naturally, we will make an attempt. The Intel team will call you and from time to time give you a courtesy call just to find out what you thought of the webinar to begin with, and of course how we can help you get more out of this revolution in retail interactions using technology. And the question that just popped up here is IAMT ready in all Intel CPUs? So perhaps Charisse or Raymond, what are your views on that?
Yeah, actually, the IAMT is only supported on the vPro-based platform, which is the Core i5 onwards, which is the i5 and i7.
So
all right.
What means that it's not all the CPU will support it. So the Atom-based CPU will not support this IAMT.
Okay, right. So here again, it's important to be able to chat with one of you before actually going into an extensive and expensive R&D, research and development roadmap. So here I'm putting myself in the shoes of a hardware developer, a fairly large one, I imagine, building a next generation of smart, intelligent devices, including signage. Folks like that are thinking ahead, thinking what retailers might need, thinking what businesses might need, thinking ahead what consumers may want to respond. It's critical that we have a conversation, a discussion, an ability for us to have an ongoing conversation, again, with an Intel expert who has been through all of that, has worked with many dozens of different businesses. I've come up with solutions that have assisted those folks in maybe reducing their go-to-market strategies, as we call it here in Intel, accelerate your development. So I really encourage hardware developers not just to look at what's immediately being done, but to look maybe at 1, maybe 2, maybe 10 steps ahead of the competition. Because there's a tremendous amount of opportunity in the retail sector particularly. And I think that if this is the case, we have only the best ahead of us. So we have a couple of more minutes left. So if anybody has questions I'd love to ask, just go ahead. Otherwise, again, the resource. Go ahead, Raymond.
Yeah, I think there is a question about the digital signage world, right? I think people like, can you click back to the point that actually being shown? So I think I think this is the next week event in the middle of this point. This is happening 25th to 27th of April. This is in Singapore, Suntec, Singapore. Intel is the gold sponsor for this event. We actually have a booth, what we call a pavilion in this event. And just now we mentioned about the Macy, what we call the proof of concept, it will be shown there. So if you in case there, you can please visit the Intel booth and you will get a good picture of what this demo is all about.
Right.
And we also have some other demo that actually continue to create the kind of what we call the proof of concept for the retailer. So hopefully we can see you there. I will be there in 3 days to support this
Excellent.
event. So hopefully we'll see you there in that event.
So folks, please drop by. We'll make that link available as well on the site that you use. We'll send a thank you, a courtesy email to all the people who have registered. Not everybody have registered. I mean, to be honest, we have more than 400 registered, but people are busy. They have meetings to go to. So to everybody who weren't able to join, you will be receiving the email, obviously, with a link to this video recording. So what's exciting here is you get a chance to meet Raymond in person, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Very good, very good. So as you know, folks, this is really an opportunity for all of us to start the discussion. It is the beginning of a series of forums that we intend to continue upon, to leverage upon, so that folks can have a chance to actually understand where's technology heading today, you know, and what is the role of Intel playing in all of this. And as we know, Intel really is one of the leaders in this sector of microchip development. And some of the applications is really what excites me personally. And of course, should you join us again in the future, we'll be sure to let you know what that is. So perhaps even ahead of folks who have not had a chance to join us. So if you're a hardware developer, you're a system integrator who is really thinking about how am I going to grow my business? What are the things I must be aware of? What are the things I need help and assistance with? Well, that's where your friendly Intel expert will kick in. So by all means, look forward to them reaching out to you from time to time. Thank you all. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Charisse. Thank you, Eric, for joining us today. If you have anything further to say, go ahead. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time around. Thank you all. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.